Good morning. We are extremely pleased that you are here. It is good to come together for the purpose of co-creating. Do you agree?
Yes.
You're knowing what you're wanting?
Yes.
For now? It moves around, doesn't it? Your desire just keeps expanding. Are you able to keep up with your desire? Well, that's the work, isn't it? Because life is going to continually call new desire from you. It's just the nature of this expanded, leading edge, time-space reality that you are focused in. You are powerful creators. You came with deliberate intention. And your intention, when you made the decision to come into this body, into this personality, surrounded by all of the others in their difference, in their diversity, different beliefs, different desires. So, we've been talking to you for years about how you create your own reality and how you create through the thoughts that you think. What we want to inspire you to is an early and easy awakening to the high-flying disc. We want you to feel as sure as we are about you that you have the ability to get on it and to maintain it mostly. We want to help you push the reset button. We want you to feel the power of your own point of attraction. We want you to feel the control that you have of your own point of attraction. And so we are eager to talk with you about anything that matters to you. There is nothing that is off limits here. It is our desire to help you to realize that in every situation you can, if you want to, achieve a better focus and improve your point of attraction. We want to help you close that gap between the things that you have identified that you want. You've been doing it all of your life and even before. We want to help you to close that gap between that vibrational reality that you have done such a magnificent job of creating and what you are actually allowing yourself to realize in your moment-to-moment experience. When you make your transition into non-physical, that gap will close. And you will be an immediate realizer of all that you have expanded to be. But we don't think you should have to croak in order to be experiencing the benefit of what you've carved out. So many of you have been saying to us, as you have patiently listened to our explanation of these unseeable things, Abraham, I'll accept the vortex. Okay, but how do I get my money out of the vortex and into the bank? That's what I want to know. How does this reality that you are so excited about become something that I am excited about? And we say, right there is the answer to your question. You got to be excited about it before you can see it and hear it and smell it and taste it and touch it. It has to be meaningful to you to feel the thrill of the expanded idea. But that's not going to happen to you until you understand how it works. You got to understand that there always is a gap and that that's okay. You got to understand that there's contrast surrounding you all the time, and that's okay. You got to understand that when you're focused in opposition of something that you desire or something that you have become, and you don't feel good because you're focused in opposition, that that's okay. You've got to accept that negative emotion is all right because it's part of the process too. Your emotions let you know how near or far you are from the vibrational frequency of what you have already created. So we're not here to teach you how to create because you can't stop doing that. You're doing it all day, every day. You are becoming. And we're not here to convince you in our ability to know what you want because that's irrelevant to you. What we know and what we know about you is really irrelevant. Not important. It's not important. It's not important to you unless you want to be the full realizer of all that you have become. We want you to feel more power in the now, because what you're living now isn't about what you've done before. Of course, what you're doing now is logical because of what you've done before. It's not likely that you're going to do something different now than what you've been doing. In other words, because you have habits of thought. But it is your now point of attraction that now you can modify. And by caring about how you feel, it's more probable that you will. That distinction matters. I'm not now living the results of what I've been doing. I'm living the results of what I am doing.
Of course, yeah.
But I am doing it logically because I've been doing it.
Sure.
But I don't have to do now what I've been doing.
Right.
If my desire to feel good is strong enough, I can rise above what I've been doing and do something different. Did you hear that? Well, we have the same high expectation because you're clear about what you're reaching for. You are a little more aware of what is than is good for you. But then that's logical, isn't it? It's logical that you would be aware of how things are while you're wanting them to morph into something different. So let's start with the process of the focus wheel. The focus wheel is a process where you start with a central idea, something that you desire, and you focus upon it. Usually, when you're doing a focus wheel, you don't have a steady habit of feeling that way. In other words, when you're doing a focus wheel, there's usually something that you're trying to bring into focus so that it will be to a greater advantage. In other words, a focus wheel is a way to improve your point of attraction. And everything we're talking about here today is that, isn't it? My point of attraction, what I'm letting in. So we're going to do a focus wheel in order for you to, at least during the time of this conversation, let in, which is to say no longer keep out. Because if you're not keeping it out, you're letting it in. If you're not holding the cork under the water, it will bob back to the surface. So the focus wheel is to accomplish a relief in your resistance through focusing, feeling. That's a focus wheel is really about finding the feeling.
Okay.
So in the center of the focus wheel, we're going to make statements all around the edge of it. But in the center of it is really what you're going for. It's what you're wishing for. It's what you're desiring. So make that statement, which is the subject of this focus wheel, and make the statement as if it is already true.
Okay.
Esther wrote focus wheels this morning, getting ready to come here because it's a fast way. She wrote, I am happy.
Okay.
I am happy. Well, it was really easy for her to fill that in because she is happy. Make your statement of desire. And it can be as specific. I'm in love. I like fun. Now, I like fun. You do like fun. And if you focus on how much you like fun, it doesn't contradict with I am in love. Doesn't contradict at all. Seems so far off the subject that it doesn't interest you.
Yeah,
but
that seems relevant.
That's the most important thing that you've said to us, because everything that is relevant, you've already put into the vortex. When you try to apply relevance here, now, here, now, here, now, you pick up messy stuff you don't need to. This isn't the time to pick up relevant conversations.
Okay.
This is the time relevant only in the terms of how they feel, not relevant in terms of what they make happen, not relevant in terms even of the actual subject matter. Vibrationally relevant. You helped us to say something that we've never said before. Vibrational relevance is what you're looking for. Period. Only vibrational relevance. So love is to fun as fun is to love. Love is to fun as clarity is to fun and to love. Love and fun and clarity and rhetoric are all to each other as they are to each other. In other words, vibrationally relevant. Do you feel the solid footing that you're accomplishing? So I am in love and I am fun and I am clarity. I am clear and I adore rhetoric. I adore conversation. So no bumps in any of this. What else? I am gregarious. I am fun-loving. I'm a good communicator. I like the give and take of conversation. I like the give and take of beingness. I love focusing. I love focusing and feeling. I love feasting my eyes on someone or something I love. I love the feeling of love. The other day, we were talking to groups for a while about unconditional love. And to many of them, it's like blah, blah, blah. You've been hearing it forever. blah, blah, blah. Unconditional love feels like looking at something you don't want, pretending that you like it. Well, that's not what unconditional love is. Unconditional love is what this focus wheel will accomplish for you. Unconditional love is finding the vibration of love without needing conditions to support it, or without needing conditions to change in order to feel it. So I love to be in love. I love to be in love, and I love fun, and I love conversation, and I love clarity, and I love communication, and I love objects of attention to appreciate. So we were having a conversation like this with Esther, and she was sitting on her porch looking out over her swimming pool, feeling enormous, over-the-top appreciation for all of the things that she was seeing. And then she said, Abraham, I'm confused about this because it feels to me that those beautiful cranes, the statues, are a condition that are causing me to feel this appreciation. This swimming pool, it's unique and wonderful. Isn't it a condition that is causing me to feel this way? And we said, think about it, Esther. You were feeling that way before you focused and felt the surge of it. In other words, Esther was in a state of appreciation, which means she was connected with all of us from non-physical, and then she received the inspiration to look over there and to look over there, and she felt an enhanced version of appreciation because we were all there looking at it with her. And in that moment, Esther got what we said. This was unconditional love. The perception, her ability to love, was magnified thousands of times because she was in sync with us, and we were focused with her, as we always are with you, in every moment in time. But Esther found, sort of accidentally, a way of allowing the fullness of us. And then our conversation, she had to admit, yeah, I was feeling appreciation, and then I was feeling appreciation, and then. So I'm in love, and I'm also fun. I'm in love, and I'm also clear-minded. I'm in love. I am in love. I love to be in love. I'm in love. I'm in love. I love to love. I love syncing up with Source. What else? What else can we put around that? I love fun. I love clarity. I love rhetoric. I love conversation. I'm in love, and I love fun, and I love clarity, and I love conversation. I love travel. I love stimulation of thought. I love going places. I love new. I love adventure. I love new experiences. I love new awakenings. I love new contrast. I love launching new rockets of desire. I love becoming. I love understanding. I love knowing. I love applying. I love getting this down. I love being a deliberate creator. I love creating. I love molding. I love the feeling of molding my energy. I love emotion. I love the feeling of love. I love excitement. I love passion. I love enthusiasm. I love being all lighted up. I love being stimulated by someone. I love the feeling of adventure. I'm in love. I'm in love. Now you've romped around there. Don't you feel that?
I do.
And so right now, there is we're not kidding you at all. There is no resistance in your vibration about this magnificent relationship. None. There's none. So you just did the work. Didn't feel like you were doing the work because you weren't talking about the details of that. Right. But the details of that you already put into the vortex. Just now you lined up with all of those details. And as you're able to maintain that for a little while, inspiration flows to you. In other words, more manifestation. We want to keep using that word. More manifestation of emotion. More manifestation. Esther finds herself saying several times during the day, I feel really good. I feel good. I feel good. It's sort of like unmistakable. I feel good. I feel good. I feel good. Life is good. So that state of being then allows other things to occur. Rendezvous, conversations. So then, as our first friend was saying, but how do I maintain that? You probably don't, but it's easy to get back to. Now you know the objective is just to hold yourself in a place where you can let what you want to happen. That's your work. To find that place and practice it where you can let what you want to happen, what's inevitable, what's a done deal, to happen. Best focus wheel discussion we've ever had.